down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
We're talking about secrets. So remember, giving away some cookies, audiobooks, some t-shirts, if you come up with a good secret, okay? Everybody clear on that? Get your pens ready. All right. First secret of a successful, savvy real estate investor, bang, bang, is systems. Property manager quits tomorrow. Takes me 2 days to have a new property manager trained up, ready to roll. No problem. How do I do that? Systems. You need to be gangster about systems. I'm talking about, like, I have a system for everything. When I purchase a house, for example, we know that we need to get rents. Where's the keys? We have checklists. Successful people scale, and you want to scale. How do you scale? The only way you can scale is by having systems. So if you can't do systems, you want to go to a website called sweetprocess.com. It will prompt you and help you create systems. That's called Sweet, SWEET, process.com. Just watch that video, and it will help you, give you some ideas on how to work it. Here's a quick way to do some systems. You basically, it's very labor intensive. You just sit down and you write out, okay, I have an eviction process. I have a whole system for an eviction process. So I know what floor to file. I know when the court date is. All that is a process. So if I die tomorrow and I don't do the evictions anymore, the property manager, she just reads this sheet of paper and we can file evictions. So does anybody have a system that they have right now that they utilize in their life? I know some ladies have some systems when you go shopping, right? It's a system. I just went to Sprouts. This place is a nightmare. So, you get your cold cuts first, and then there's a system. So start thinking about it. If you really want to be successful in this game, you got to have systems. Fake cameras. You got to have fake cameras. Mr. Flipper over here, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Does it work? Yep. Do you have any? Save thousands of dollars. Years ago, where there's copper was really hot and people were stealing stuff. Well, this $6 piece of equipment, it's motion. You can get this on Amazon. Just type in fake camera in Amazon. They're about $6 a piece, $7. Don't pay no more than $7 a piece. You can buy them in packs of 4, and you screw them up. And make sure the ones are motion detected. Okay, there's some ghetto ones up there that will just blink. Well, you just sit there for 10 minutes and you can figure that's a fake camera. But the cameras that we use, as soon as you move, it starts blinking. And then when you stop, it has a timetable, and it looks legit. And I also put video surveillance signs inside the property too on the first window. So you got to protect your asset with fake camera. Is that a good secret?
That's great.
All right. You don't have no pen, homie. You're recording me. Oh, okay. All right. Another secret is, I don't know any successful real estate investor that does not take this game serious like a business. People that are rolling that are multi-millionaires, that's a business. They have attorneys. They know attorneys. When you turn on the real estate investor hat, it's a business. It's not a game. It's a business. Okay? You can't be casual. Well, I don't know if she's going to pay her rent on time. No. It's a business. Do you think OG&E runs their business like it's a hobby? No. So you have to think that way. And you got to run your business. A secret that I believe that a lot of people just overlook. They just think that they get into real estate and because it's a pretty low barrier of entry and it's simple, but they don't. You want to succeed, you want to make more money, you got to have it like a business. How you interact with people, the contracts you have, treat it like a normal business. Anybody have any comments? Raise your hand. Private money. That's the super duper secret. Super duper. Man, and I slept at the wheel on the private money. Sky, you like, you are. So I beat you up on the systems, right? Then I just beat you up on the business. You've got to start prospecting, communicating, and letting people know that you're a real estate investor and that you can help them get a return on their investment through loaning you money as a borrower. Is that clear? Does everybody understand what private money is? Private money is an individual like Dave and I. He has an acquisition. He's trying to buy a property, and for some reason, he has a 400 credit score. Most private money people don't look at your look at your credit score. They look at the acquisition, the deal. What is it? And what is my return? He's like, I got this $100,000 house. Here's the appraisal. I got it under contract for $40,000. I need to borrow $45,000. Would that be okay? Would that be a safe deal for somebody? Kind of. You have to go look at it. Could be an Oak Cliff somewhere, and you got a problem. But private money, that is a super secret. Deals that are being done, even in Oklahoma City, that are large acquisitions, are funded through private money, and then they're refinanced out. Trust but verify. Due diligence. I'm telling you, I've gotten burned so many times on I believe you, I trust you. And here's some quick examples. A contractor calls you on Friday afternoon. Hey, I'm wrapping up right now. I want to, can I come by and pick up no, trust, you can't come by and pick up a check, buddy, until I trust and verify. Okay? No matter, I don't care who, at this point in time in the game, I've been burned so many times where I even myself personally, I walk into the house and I see it's painted, and then there'll be back of three doors not painted. So you have to trust but verify. People, I don't think are malice, but you still need to verify what they're doing. And on top of that, you got to do your due diligence. You got to get on Facebook and look up your tenant if you can find them. You'll get there'll be some hurdles where you can't get some information. Then pay the $35. There's a local company called Employer Services that you can pay $35, and they'll do a nationwide criminal search on somebody. Okay? You have to go through the process. Don't just leave it up to chance. You have to do due diligence. That's what successful real estate investors do. That's their secret. And I thought I was pretty good at due diligence until I met someone that was way greater than I was. I was looking at a property, I actually got the property under contract, and I was just sharing it with this guy. I was like, hey, I got this property, blah, 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 blah. And the guy did super due diligence right there in front of me with like sky maps and Google Earth, and did reports for everyone in the neighborhood. I'm like, I don't do that. Due diligence. That's what successful real estate investors do. That's not Donald Trump, don't worry. I know it looks like it. A little hair. Leverage. You have to understand the power of leverage. This is another super secret. Now, you could use private money as leverage, but you also leverage people too. I think that the reason why I'm able to write books, buy properties, and travel the world is because I leverage people. I have a property management team that's working right now while we're here learning something new. How do I do that? That's leverage. And so you've got to start thinking right now, how can I leverage my time? How can I leverage workers? How can I leverage money? And the success in real estate is leveraging money, is making your money move. If you have $100,000 in the bank, is that being leveraged? No. You could take that $100,000 and turn it into $1 million by borrowing it, and 10% of that is $1 million. So you really need to think in your mind, am I leveraging everything that I can possibly do? Right? Is this a good subject? People are just staring at me.
You're all right.
Any suggestions on leverage? Anybody leverage anything now?
So
You leverage me all the time. You ask me questions every day. That's leverage.
That's true.
I'm just like, good.
So how much in your week are you in your business, working on your business? How much, like right now at your stage?
I don't do any real estate at all unless there's a deal that comes up. So I probably work 30 minutes a week to an hour a week on real estate.
The rest is
It's all leveraged out. The only reason they can only call me if it's $2,000 or below, $2,000 or more. If it's a decision that needs to be made, $1,000, I'll kind of get privy to it. If it's anything that costs $2,000 or more, then they have to ask me. And if a house becomes vacant or there's a legal battle, because I'm representing that, and then they'll bring me in. But it's Like they know if the heat and air system breaks, they don't need to call me and say, hey, they just call the heat and air guy. And we have 3 heat and air men or women that go do it. So just depends on what I'm doing at the time.
Do you feel like there's a certain point where you go on cruise control and then all of a sudden crap's hitting the fan? It's like, whoa, how did I not see this coming? You ever kind of run it? I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Well, no, it's I have a system in place when I hire someone, and I have checks and balances. So, like if it's a brand new hire, I have a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and then I have a 6-month. Is this the person that's going to sustain? Is this going to, I ask these deep questions, in like I was teaching someone yesterday. I was like, every year I look at every property specifically on its own. Would I buy this property? Is it cash flowing at the level that it's cash flow? Because when you go on autopilot, houses tend to bleed together, and one house could be cash flowing, but the insurance went up and another one, and they're carrying each other and you don't know. I read this one time at Sam Walton, at every year he cuts off the 20%. So let's give you an example. If there's 10 staff members and they're all good, he puts them in order of their worth, their value, and then he fires the last 2. So he's always pruning. And so you need to do the same thing. So I always do an inspection. We do a thorough inspection when someone moves out, and we ask these key questions. Are we going to keep this property? How long is it going to take? Do we have capital X improvements? Is it going to need a new roof? When is the roof? So we do an analysis right when so if you notice, I've been selling a lot of property right now because I've depreciated them out, and they're in excessive of repairs. They're not worth the time, or they're houses that I want to sustain. Then we do that twice a year, or hopefully just once a year, unless the tenant moves out. If the tenant moves out, we start that whole process up. So if they move out once, we'll evaluate the property. Should we sell it? Should we keep it? How long is our agenda? How long is this going to take? And then at the end of the year, we do that on every property. And each individual property, does it sustain? Now, I don't do all those analysis. I ask my staff to do that. Tell me what you think about this property. Take pictures of the property. I have a detailed list of every photo that I want taken of the property. And so a $10 an hour individual can go there with a smartphone and take photos and upload them in the cloud. Within 30 minutes, we can have a general idea what the repairs are going to cost. And that's what we do with leverage. So make sure you're thinking. So when you're driving down the road, man, do I have to be going to this property right now? You can use a lockbox, a $20 lockbox. We sell lockboxes here for $20. You can spend $20 and it can give you $1,000 back in time and effort, and you can rent out a house faster. Because what happens, what I've noticed with landlords, they'll have a house and they feel like they have to be in control of everything. They're not leveraging. And there's several ways I leverage property management, but you can get their ID over the phone or get them to fill out an application, get their social security number, and you could text them a code to get into the property, and then what did that cost me? Nothing. But you driving in a car costs you $3 in the gas to drive to Edmond, unlock the door, turn the electricity on, it would be an hour. So how much are you worth? So always be thinking, how can I leverage? Any other questions? Okay. Learned this from my homeboy, Devin. Thank you. There's a lot of things. My life is, my phone's over here. So a lot of things have been changing in my world in a lot of ways. But this thing called streaking, not getting naked. You know what I'm talking about? You want to get this app on your iPhone or wherever. But every day I check into my streak and I'm seeing these are all the things I want to do every day. My quiet time, reading, vitamins, running, prayer, estate planning. I'm writing a book right now. Did I floss? Man, I'm struggling on my floss. And I'm not talking about dancing either. I'm talking about my teeth. I just added affirmations today, sit-ups. And so if you want to really excel, this is a secret that I think that I just recently found that Devin brought to my attention. And it keeps me focused. It keeps me on. And then it's kind of fun because I could see, I don't want to run today, but I don't want to break my streak. And so I use the same principle in buying houses. Where do you mind houses at? You can mind houses or drive through a neighborhood. Did you drive through a neighborhood today? So I have this app. It's not this one, but you just go into your app store, type in, Habit Streak is the one it's on my phone on Android. And if you real a lot of people, I want to be a millionaire. or I want to buy 10 houses, but they don't really have a plan, or they don't have a process to get there. To become that, it's something you have to work on every day. But no one wants to do it. They'll do it for 1 week. No, to buy hundreds of houses, you're going to have to be looking at houses all the time, and you're going to have to be leveraging people all the time, right? So when my streak, it reminds me, did I do that today? I'm trying to write a book. I have a deadline. It's got to be done by April 1st. So every day I'm like, man, I get convicted. Did I not do that? Streak. Anybody use streaks at all on our phone? No?
Oh, not on my phone, but I do have I'm doing something like that in a book.
Okay, yeah. Years ago, I used to I have it. I can send it to you if you want it. But I have like and this is actually how I got out of debt one time. This is considered a debt snowball from Dave Ramsey. So I was showing a young kid that was in massive debt how to get out of debt. I owed $110,000 on this house. I divided $110,000 by 500 payments extra, and it equated to 230 payments. And then every day I looked at it when I was brushing my teeth. I was like, how can I make $500 today? How can I sell something? Can I buy something? How can I make $500 every day? And within a short amount of time, I paid off that house because I was on it, and I was so excited to check off another number, and it just continued to propel me. That's what streak does. If you really want to focus on accomplishing some goal, set up a streak. Now, I'm telling you, this is super duper secret. Audiobooks. You got to get educated. It's not even a question. Like I'm trying to figure out how can I get my children on audiobooks now. But I mean, I have a minimum of at least 30 minutes, an hour a day that I'm on an audiobook of some sort. It could be about wills and estates. It could be about weight loss. It could be about anything, especially real estate. And if you're just new to real estate, man, there's so many books out there. The sad thing is that I think about, it's like there's so much content I can never consume it all. I'm sad. I'm bummed about it. So now that I'm like, man, I got to be really cautious because I only got so many years left in my life. Which audiobooks are going to help me today? Which ones are going to propel me to move to the next level? I set some super goals. I'll put them on the radio here pretty soon. But a really good friend of mine, put me way in perspective. And I was telling him about, these are my goals. This is what I'm doing. He's like, Stephen, those are great goals. He's like, but you're not going to be the same person to reach those goals. Where you're at today to get to this goal, you have to change. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to change, right? I'm down to change so much that the streak, I want to break everything that's a bad habit in my world. But then he was like, you have to become different. I was like, okay, how do you become different? Right? You change. But then he says, you have to have different people around you. And so if you want to be worth X amount, I have to get to that individual that has accomplished that. And I have to have new mentors, new people in my life. The people that are with me now are not the people that are propelling me where I want to go. I have to leave that environment and I have to move to another environment. It's pretty fascinating.
So my super secret is?
Oh, you got one? All right,
Yeah.
Somebody, okay.
Adjust your 1.6 speed, and then I hit the silence, and so it kind of shrinks down your time.
Yeah, speed up your audiobook playing back. You can do it. I usually ride mine at 125, 120. Depends on who's talking. Yeah, it's good. You can consume more. But I had a friend that was running it at 3 points, and I was like, dude, you're not retaining it. He's like, I listened to it 5 times. Wow. Get a pen and paper. Google up the cone of learning. Has anybody ever heard of the cone of learning? I need to throw that up in here.
No.
Well, you win the program. But the cone of learning is like the reason why we even do this is the more that I teach this stuff, the better I become. It's almost a selfish thing, right? Your $10 goes to rent the facility because we lose money every time we have this event because there's rent that we could be gathering here. So we're not trying to do this to make money. I'm personally doing this to give back, but I'm doing it because I want to become better. And if you want to become better, then you need to start teaching classes. You need to start getting with a buddy and being a coach for somebody else. There's somebody in your network that you can breathe life into. It could be a child. It could be an adult. whatever the case may be. All right, I just found this out. Here's another new secret. It's not a new secret. Did you guys know about the $12,000 pay your children tax-free? Yeah, you get on it. Yeah, and what's that code? The IRS code. I asked the accountant if she's going to be here today. She didn't show up. Do you know that section code when you bought your truck? For your, do you remember the code for your truck? Okay, that's another one too. But there's two things I just found out. First of all, you can write off. They doubled this, I think, in 2019. But you can pay your child. Now they have to be working of some magnitude. Okay, $12,000, and you can write them a check for 12 G's, and they don't have to file a tax return. So it's great for me, for my 3 children. They'll be getting paid. Well, my 5-year-old, I don't know what she can do. But my other ones, we can put out vanity signs. We can roll around. We can do some stuff. And then there's another one. It's a friend of mine asked me. He asked me this question. I'm like, you're the last. I would know this answer. So I just forwarded it to my accountant. But there's a section, I think 709, where you can write off a great deal of a vehicle if you use 50% of that vehicle for your business. So you don't. Does anybody know that code? Do you know? I saw you shaking your head back there. Do you know that?
Well, I just listened to a webinar that had it on there. I could get it for you.
Yeah. I have it somewhere. It's like 709 or something.
You just appreciate the whole thing.
Yeah, you can accelerate the depreciation. That's it. What's the IRS
I'm
code?
looking up the code here.
Be real savvy and tell your accountant, I want to do this. When can I do it? So I've already told my accountant, hey, when can I make this happen? Can I do this in 2020? Absolutely. You can write off $40,000 in 2020. So that's another secret. That's where I failed as a real estate investor. I would just like, oh, it's December. I need to I need to have a tax plan. What? I'm gonna pay how much? Wait a minute. You got something wrong. No. Real estate people that are successful, they're pre-planning. I made it mandatory this year from 2019 on. We meet every quarter from here on in, because I just got stung. I gave away a bunch of money this year to the church, and I'm telling you, the IRS just got me. You can only give away 60% of what you make. That's like, I thought I was just giving to the church a ton of money, and I was like, oh, it's 100% tax write-off. So I was real aggressive with it, because I knew I was going to make some money on this stuff and blah, 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 blah. Well, when I had my meeting, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, this is not 100% tax deducted. I just gave away this much money, so I have to pay tax on, because I'm not prepared, because I'm not the secret. See? Savvy investors, whack over here. So that's another tip. Plan, like seriously, even if you have one house or you're thinking about buying real estate, I definitely would meet with people or friends or someone, just like that section thing, because Keith last year, exactly a year ago today, this guy was scrambling. He did some flips, right? Is that why you were going to get hammered in taxes? Because he had a bunch of stuff go down, and he was like trying to buy a vehicle so you wouldn't have to pay all this tax, and he was like beating up dealerships, and they're beating him up. He's like, I have to have sign this document by December 31st. When did you sign that document?
It's December 30, because I think the 31st was Sunday. So
Yeah.
it's craziness. Don't do that.
So that's don't do that.
179 is what it is. Section
Because we forced him to buy a Ford F-150.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a smart move. It was fleshful because he could sell it to me since he depreciated it out.
I had to, honey.
So he sold it to me. I'll buy it used. I got no shame in my game. All right. Make sure okay. Title. Oh, okay. I remember now. I put this together and act like I know what I'm talking about. Relationships with title companies, super duper secret. I've actually seen this happen more times than I can count, where title companies can jack up a deal, and I have also seen favor in mind. This just recently happened where I had to get something closed by a certain time, and they kind of maneuver for me to make that happen. And I believe that's all because of a relationship that I have with a title company. So even if you've never done a deal, or you're about to do a deal, or you have 100 deals I've already done, you need to build a relationship with a title company. Find this person, that runs a title company and makes sure they're not quitting or leaving or they're going to another place, because you don't want to build a relationship. Now, bankers, you can build a relationship up with a banker. They'll just move to another bank. That's okay. But title company, usually people, if they leave the title world, they kind of disappear. So build relationships. Anybody else have a secret?
Yeah, hey, to add on to the building the relationship with the title company. So yeah, if you have a relationship and you do multiple deals, then they'll give you discounts and things like that. But something that I've had that's been really valuable is that, let's say the funding that's coming through on your deal is delayed. Whether it's coming out of an IRA, if it's coming from equity trust, just plan on it being delayed, right? You know the money's coming, the seller's ready to close, they're getting antsy, but you don't want to tell them, yeah, the money's coming. So I've had closing agents slow roll the seller for me without
saying there's a paperwork glitch
as to why we're delayed 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, we're sitting here waiting on Equity Trust to get their ducks in a row, and it just helps prevent losing a deal.
Good job. So we give you the chocolate chip cookie. Please pass that down to my friend back there.
Come on, I can go.
Ooh. Okay. So I put title company on there, relationships with banks, just relationships in general. That's like the super secret. And to the degree where gifts are necessary. You know, someone did me a solid and put a roof on a property for me. I drop shipped them an RC car. I wanted them in the game, but it works. Super duper secret. Part 2. Virtual assistants. I know you've been thinking about it for a long time. This is not like some new word in your world. But you have been lazy and you have not attempted to do it. Correct? Have you hired a VA yet? Has anybody hired a VA? Who's hired? 4 people. So that's not even, that's like 20% of the room. Hire a VA. Go on Fiverr today, FIVERR.com, and do something on there. You haven't hired a VA yet? What's wrong with you?
I'm slow.
That's right. And that's why you ain't rich. You're slow into the game. Get to a VA. Everybody cool with that? Brian? Well, you've already hired a VA before, right?
Did you say it's Fiverr?
Fiverr. FIVERR.com. That's just the safest, easiest way to hire someone. But you just got to learn to communicate with people, get something designed, get something done. Landlord locks. Another secret. We got one key. We can unlock every door. It's simple. It's convenient. I hear cheap landlords. This is another secret. If you're trying to save money, you always won't be broke. Okay? If you want to make money, you got to spend money to make money. Okay? Don't try to save money. Make more money. Okay? Because you're going to pay $10 more for this lock, but it's going to be 10 times more solid than a Home Depot lock. And it's going to make your life easier. So what you got to understand, and I built, every time I purchase a property, I built the locks in my cost. So I don't want to think about it. Okay? Landlord locks is a secret. Lock it up. That's another secret. I've been on the phone with too many real estate investors. I don't know. Lock the contract up, because then you're in control. This game is about control. It's not about how many houses you have. It's control, because the more you can control, the more cash flow you make. Right? Does that make sense? So you've got to lock up contracts. If it's within your zone, listen, at least lock it up and then bring it to me. It'll work. We'll work it out. No, I'm just saying. Or lock it up and then call somebody else and says, this is a good deal. You can always kind of get out of the contract as a buyer. Okay? Everybody cool? Anybody have comments on that? Okay.
Hey, what about on the contract? Did you just go and have one drafted up with your attorney?
No, I wrote my own contract. I just took Oklahoma City's, you can Google it up, Oklahoma City real estate contract, and I just cut out all the crap. All the stuff that doesn't make sense. It's real plain Jane, real simple. It's a page and a half. This is how much we're buying it for. This is the property. How big is your contract?
Mine's 1 page. If you email Jackie, she'll give you a free one.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
You can get a 1 page. Mine's a little bit different because I got some contingencies in there that I like, called keys, called marketing the property. There's little things that I have in my contract that I like to have control of. So, but I just cut out all the crap and just made it simple. Plus, I read the contract to the people. Full disclosure. So, if you hand how many pages is a real estate contract now? State board contract. 8, 12?
Yeah.
8 pages.
Right.
So, who's going to get the deal? Me or an 8-pager? Me. Let's just read the contract. Let's just be clear. I'm buying it as is. That means no matter what happens, it's as is. It's real clear. It says real big, as is. Go read this 8 pages. Do you think anybody's going to read 8 pages? No. But she'll read my page and a half, and she'll think it's fair, and it is fair. And it says on the bottom, this is a legally binding contract. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Mentor. You got to get a mentor. Like, our society is not willing to help people for some weird reason. Okay? If you got to pay for one, pay for one. If you can find someone that will just spend time with you, take them to lunch every week, budget it in there. But you really need someone this is a secret. Everybody, Tiger Woods has a mentor, has a coach. Everyone that's successful has someone in their world that has helped them propel them in some form or fashion. Okay, I would not be where I am today without mentors in my life. Some of them I had to pay, help me publish my book. Financial mentors that have helped me with financial statements, just how to read a financial statement properly. Okay, you've got to get a mentor of sorts. You can pay for one, you can ask for one, and if you can't afford one, then work for one for free. Trade with someone, find someone that's doing what you want to be doing, and work out a deal. My very first mentor was the second real estate person I ever called on a newspaper ad, and he became my mentor. And I was like, can I just ride with you? And I would just ride with him all day and just ask him 1,000 questions. I wonder what he thought of me. But 20 years later, today he is still my mentor, and I still call him only on huge deals because the guy's so huge. He owns all of downtown. And he's never given me any money. I have bought some deals from him. It hasn't been like glamorous deals, but through relationship, through time. And he knows what markets. He knew that Plaza was going to blow up. When I bought a property in Plaza, he said, Stephen, they're going to put $2 million down there just on the driveway. So be ready. And sure enough, I own a building on here, 48th and Santa Fe. When I bought that and I showed him my mentor, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this building. He's like, Stephen, they're going to tear that whole bridge out. Are you serious? And 10 years later, they did. And then my property's doubled in value. Okay, that's what a mentor can do. And does he spend time with me? Does he tutor me? Does he give me books? No. I call him. I established kind of a relationship. Hey, and he wasn't like, he's not my sensei or anything, but it's a relationship and it's a mentor. Any questions? Is that good? Put your hands together. Clap it up. Let's change the energy in the room. It's not VanCauwenbergh Show 101. Anybody thought of it? We got some prizes out here. T-shirts.
I have a question.
Damn. Yes.
What's the most you've ever paid for a mentor?
That's a great question. Somewhere around $1,000 a month. At one time. Somewhere around there. Because it was like I paid them as I go, but I needed them. I can tell you some people, I can't say their names, but I remember when this guy called me and said, hey, I coached this guy for a while. He's like, hey, I just hired this guy. He's $10,000. But he brought him to, I know a realtor right now that pays $2,000 a month for 2 different mentors. But the guy makes $350,000 a year. So it just depends on where you're weak at, what you're trying to do. But I don't, when I hired that guy, I didn't like that guy that I hired, but he pushed me to, every time I called him, I wanted fires at AESS. I was like, this dude, I'm going to fire him today. Seriously, I'm dreading calling this guy. I know he's going to tell me that I'm over leveraged. I know he's going to say something on the phone to me. I know it. And as soon as I hang up, all right, I'll wait one more month. I'll wait one more call. But that's a good question. It's been hit or miss. And I've paid $26,000 for training to learn apartments. So that's the most I probably ever spent. Now I probably have over $100,000 of courses and conferences, at least $100,000 I've spent over the last. I've been an investor for 20 years, since 1999. So that was bought my first house. So, but I paid $500 to hear a guy for 2 hours. I've paid $26,000 for this year. That's with one company I paid for. So I pay for it. It brings you where you are. You paid ungodly. And I love the text message you sent me yesterday. It was awesome. This is $50. This is awesome. This is like, hey, he goes, have you heard this book? And I love Jim Rohn. So he came from Jim Rohn. But he's like, you need to do this. This is $50. This is better than a $1,000 course I've ever done. It's such a good tip. So he pays for mentorship, not with me, but with other people and over time and classes and seminars. You should do it. All right. Any other questions?
What was the book that was $50?
The Best Year Ever by Darren Harding. You already know about it. You have it? It's a course. It's like a 3 CD course.
6 CD or 4 CDs, but the first part's a course and the rest of it's finding your year.
Go to success.com. And it's I have an older version of that from Jim Rohn. Yeah. Of course, I never did it. That's a lot of people do too. You buy the book and set it on the shelf. I'm gonna get to it. Has anybody done that before? Yeah.
It's almost like that app you have.
I'm gonna be rich if I buy this course today. That's why.
I buy the course and set it on the shelf. That's
Yeah.
how you rich.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nobody else have any comments? We're done.
I got a question
Yes.
about VAs. What kind of how do you set up your training for your VA so they know what you want done?
I use Screencast.
Screen.
Just type in Screencast, and I just actually do exactly what I want them to do. I want you to go to Craigslist, take this list, take it, put it in a spreadsheet. From there, I want you to look up the county assessor. I want you to get on Facebook, Google the person up.
You usually have to be really clear.
Yeah, and slow. But it's free. You could do 15 minutes on Screencast. Or you could do Zoom. Zoom.com. And I just do the video. If anybody's ever seen my videos, they're pretty funny. All right, good question. What else? That's it. Everybody's a millionaire in here? No one else wants to make more money? Mr. Nix.
So how often do you revise your systems that are documented?
They're organic. They're broken, and they're always constantly working and changing them. That's why I love Google Drive, because I'm constantly working on them. Now the eviction thing is pretty fine, but just the other day, the judges are cracking down on military affidavits and something else. So we just modified that existing system and said, hey, make sure you have this one-page affidavit that they're not in the military, and you present it when you file. So I just added that one line into the evictions. But the cool thing is like, it's funny because the system. Here's the really cool thing about systems. So I started a DJ company back in 1992, and I sold that company about 3 or 4 years ago. That DJ company today is still using the exact same systems that I wrote way back then. Now he's modified them because back then you could mail stuff to people. You can't mail anything. So I had a whole drip campaign created, when exactly what day and what time to mail out a postcard. It was all written out, and this gentleman that bought it, he modified that system, but he has emails that follow the same system. We have a drip campaign, 30 days out of their marriage. After they get married, we have a drip campaign. We do follow up. We have surveys. We have all these little systems, workflow systems. So you have a baseline, and then you just continue to add on there, and have a workflow system. Any other questions?
In the process of locking up a contract, is it always best to be belly to belly, or do you guys ever send digital contracts?
Well, I do both. I always have one on me, blank, ready to roll. I just put in the price, their name, and I can, and try to have them sign it right then if I'm trying to buy a deal. But today's market, I use DocHub.com. It's my favorite, and I get signatures. And so when someone says, "Hey, I'll buy your house," or they have a house for sale, I go on DocHub. I have already a template in there, and I send them a contract within an hour. It takes me 5 minutes to produce a contract because it's all templated in there. I just type in their legal description, their address, their name, and I change the date. And then I say, hey, who do you want to send this to? And I put in their email address, and it sends it to them. And then it goes into their email, and then the machine runs itself. And the thing about DocHub, it's free. You can do 5 contracts a month. It's like $5 a month. It's like $40 a year. The cool thing about DocHub, a lot of people don't know, one is it's in constant motion in the background. As soon as you send the email, it knows exactly when that person opens it up. It knows exactly when they read it, how many times they read it. It quantifies all this data. So I know if they're like, they opened it and they're fooling around. Like I had this deal I just sold where the lady was like, yeah, I want to buy. And then it would be like 2 weeks and she'd call me back. I was like, what's going on with this person? And I could see she never even opened the email because what she was saying was true. She was really busy. So I can look at. Also, you can send faxes through there too. But electronic would be probably today's time. But I would always have, it depends on your customer. If it's an elderly lady, she wants paper. But if it's someone that's probably 50 and below, electronics probably suffice.
Okay. And what's the difference between DocHub and like DocuSign? I'm using DocuSign. It sounds like that's a lot cheaper. Does it follow up and do?
It's way better. DocHub is way better. I don't like DocuSign.
Yeah. It does.
It's cleaner. It's in Google Drive.
And it
saves everything and backs everything up in Google Drive. I can take any document anywhere and import it. So like if I get an email in, I click on it, automatically goes to Drive, automatically opens up DocHub. And then from there, I can, and it never messes the original, it just buries on top of it. So I always have this massive audit trail, and it has an audit trail button, which is even more gnarly.
Wow. It does electronic signature.
Yeah.
All right.
And templates too. There's a friend of mine that does it for his lease.
Yeah, I've been using DocuSign for.
Yeah, but yes, it's free, and HelloSign is free, but DocHub is way better. Anything else? Come on, somebody needs to contribute something. Any secret?
You can also use DocHub for all your receipts.
Well, no, it's HubDoc.
It's HubDoc.
HubDoc is reverse it. So DocHub, sign, send signs, signatures. HubDoc, I don't use this, but my friend's madly in love with this, is a piece of software where it automatically syncs to all of your banking and automatically, like you put the receipt in there, it scans it, it puts it all up in the cloud and already posts it for you, and it reconciles it for you. All automated. It's pretty nutty. I have not used it, so I don't promote it or tell people about it because I don't want you to call me back, man. I bought that deal. It sucks. Like DocHub, I already know. I use it every day for years.
If anyone uses Adobe Creative Cloud, it's a
I love
digital, design software.
Spark.
It has Spark for all kinds of social media marketing, and you've got Premiere for video editing. You've got Adobe Sign, which is basically the same thing as DocuHub. So that all that comes with the cloud.
Is it a cost?
It is. It's a monthly cost.
What is it?
I think I pay 20 something a month.
So
and maybe more. But
okay.
I think it can be less depending on what you.
Yeah, it depends
use.
on maybe which one you choose.
Because that has
you have access
Photoshop,
to all the
design, all that
different.
crap, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So everyone's going subscription-based model that's Adobe Photoshop's subscription-based model.
Photoshop, Illustrator, all kinds of design software, video, a lot of stuff for marketing.
And that's called Creative.
Facebook.
Creative Cloud.
Creative Cloud.
Creative Cloud from Adobe.
Is that where you go? CreativeCloud.com.
Yeah. We're Adobe.
Okay. You get a book. Or you get a CD. Pass this down to him. Thanks. All right. You got something?
Yeah, Canva is
Canva. It's my favorite.
It's free.
Yep. From Guy Kiyosaki created Canva, who's like the Apple guru guy. And Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Canva. C-A-N-A-V-A. That's it. You can design flyers. They're high-end. I have my credibility kit in there. It converts to PDF. You can share it. It's got templates up the wazoo. Similar to what Mr. Long was saying.
Subscription based?
No, it's free.
Free.
Oh, it's free?
We like free.
You can upgrade some stuff. All right, I can get you a girl-size medium shirt downstairs. I don't got your size up here, girl. All right. What else? Nobody else? This is it? This is like we got 10 minutes left.
I got a little bit to contribute, even though I'm one of the less experienced people in this room. But I had to conquer my introversion a lot to get the ball rolling on marketing efforts. So I've been having to Uber everywhere lately. So every Uber driver I talk to, I tell them to refer me properties, and I give them a card.
Cool.
Distress and abandoned. It's just like you're riding with the person anyways.
It's a great idea. Bird Dog with Uber. Did I give you something already? We'll get your shirt there. Extra large or what size is this one? Good job. All right, come on, somebody else. We got to give away stuff.
Also, whenever I first kind of started to take those marketing efforts seriously, and people
Are you a
said
medium?
Yeah. Thank you. People, say to throw out numerous bandit signs, and I was always looking at the big box bandit sign websites, and it's $100 for the professional boards, to get shipped and stuff. So in order to make sure I stayed consistent with bandit signs, I just go to Dollar Tree and I buy the bright neon green or neon yellow construction paper and just use a stapler and make up 50 to 100 at a time. And it's $10.
What do you? So you have a thin piece of card stock, and
Yeah,
you
it's-
staple it onto the
Onto
pole.
telephone poles and stuff.
Oh, okay. Rain or anything will ruin it.
Yeah, it's weather permitting for sure. Sometimes I go
Cool.
heavy duty stuff.
Corrugated plastic.
Yeah, corrugated plastic. Sometimes I go to Home Depot and buy a sheet of corrugated plastic for $20, and it'll make 8 signs.
Cool.
Or 4 signs depending on how big they are.
There you go, little wholesalers. Get after it with the scissors. Go to dirtcheapsigns.com. That's where I get all my signs.
Sometimes people buy vinyl cutters. They have one, like my neighbor Ramden has one, and they can cut that stuff for you, and you can make signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes for cheap because they bought it and they really don't need it.
There's my phone number, 405-371-2299. If you have any questions. Is that it? Nobody else have anything to say? Mingle for a few minutes. Say hi. Love on somebody. Nobody else, nothing else to contribute? Was this a good subject? Did you guys like the secrets?
It was.
Yes.
All right, well, I have 100 of them coming out. So we'll be looking out April 1st for the new book. This is just a teaser. So I need more. I'm 4 short. Seriously. I got tips, but I need secrets.
The big old library you have. Couldn't you put that online somewhere and just charge to rent it out?
Well, I sell content, so I can't necessarily do that without giving royalties, but we do have something like that coming out.
You're not selling it, it's just
Renting it out. I do have it all online, and it's coming out in this year sometime or 2020, but we're signing contracts with people right now. It's possible. We're going to come out with a great program that just helps people educate them at wherever level you're at. So if you want to learn Subject 2, but you don't want to buy a $2,000 course, you can learn Subject 2 for $25. But it's authentic, it's real, and we're not trying to sell you some course to take your $1,000 and disappear. That's it. Nobody else have no tips? Something that's working for you? Okay, see you later, alligator. Have a great Christmas.
Yes.
Any subjects you guys want me to cover next time? I'm thinking about doing a panel. Anybody want to do it? What do you guys think about having a panel up here? Any specific subject? Like experienced investors or wholesalers?
You are a landlord.
Huh?
This is a landlord. Maybe 3 or 4 landlords.
Sure. Just ask some questions.
Rehabs.
Rehabs?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
ask
that's a
them.
good topic. That's always really popular.
Yeah.
All right, want to do rehabs? Like get Nathan Cowan here and beat him up with some questions?
Ooh.
He'll come. Yeah, he was teasing me over the weekend. I was like, man, I don't buy $300 chandeliers. Oh no, he pays $1,000 chandeliers. Oh, you at that level? That's not my game.
Yeah.
I still buy the $60 Amazon chandelier. It's working. I don't buy no $300 chandelier. I'll choke out at the coach's.
Same amount of light.
I don't want their child swinging from the rooftops with my chandelier up there. I did see a chandelier the other day that weighed 1,500 pounds. That had 2 motors. They dropped it down to clean it and dropped it back up. It was made out of glass. It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty cool.
How about a panel of 3 or 4 girls or guys that knocked it out in 2018, from a new guy to somebody's experienced that 2018 was a really good year. And
Okay.
maybe
Any
get
like
you
this as a landlord or as a wholesaler or a rehabber or just an
yeah, who did it? Who do you know that's been in the MPI, that's been coming around, that you've seen it knock it out in 2018?
Okay.
What made them propel it? Was it?
well, we'll probably do the rehab panel.
Yeah.
We'll get some people that have done some rehabs first. All right, cool. We'll visit, get people's cards, meet somebody new. They might have $100,000 in their bank to loan you some money to do a transaction. You just don't know.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.